Good evening, everybody. How is all my wonderful subscribers and viewers out there doing today? I hope everybody is having a wonderful day. It's Nikki D, and welcome back to the Nikki D channel. Today, we're going to be doing the 2020 or college football top 25 week 12 show where I, Nikki D, break down the top 25 based on the AP poll that dropped this week. Who do you think should be in the top 25 that's not there? Let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, and smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. I hope everybody continues to have a wonderful week. And without further ado, let's get to number 25, Tulane Green Wave. Tulane was at home this week. They took on Temple, and they really ran up the score 52-6 this week, as Tulane really trying to put themselves on the map. They did a great job of getting into the top 25 for the first time this year, and they are 8-2 on the season. Number 24, Missouri Tigers. Missouri hosted Oklahoma this week, and they had a pretty close game in the first half. Missouri had finally taken the lead 10-9, but they still ended up coming out, doing what they had to do. Brady Cook did what he had to do to get this Missouri offense going in the second half. Missouri beating Oklahoma 30-23. Missouri is 7-2 on the year. Number 23, South Carolina. South Carolina Gamecock making their first top 25 appearance of the season. They had a tall task this week as they had to go to Nashville as they were at Diego Pavia and the Vanderbilt Commodores. And they went in there and they handled business. 28-7, the Gamecock came out with the win, and they are 6-3 on the year. Number 22, Louisville Cardinals. Louisville had a bye this week, one of 4 teams on the top 25 to have a bye this week. And Louisville, they were coming off of a big upset win over Clemson a week ago. So they definitely expect Louisville to have some momentum and some rest going into this week. And they are 6-3 on the year. Number 21, LSU Tigers. LSU got humbled this week. They were at home against Alabama, and man, did they not show up. It was 42-6 Alabama in the fourth. LSU definitely needs to go back to the drawing board offensively and defensively, honestly, as they lost 42-13. They are still 6-3 on the year. Number 20, the Kansas State Wildcats. Kansas State, the second team on this list to have a bye this week, and Kansas State really needs to get back to running the football and getting their offense flowing. If they could drop 30 or more points in each of their last 3 games, they could definitely win out. Kansas State is 7-2 on the season. Number 19, Washington State Cougars. Washington State has really proved a lot of people wrong this year. They were at home against Utah State, walked away with a 49-28 victory. The offense really flowing for the Cougars this week, and they really have a chance to jump up and maybe even get into the college football playoffs. They are 8-1 on the year. Number 18, Colorado Buffaloes. Shedeur Sanders in Colorado really showed up this week. They went on the road into Lubbock to take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders, and Shedeur Sanders just out here being a grinder, not the sandwich, but Colorado really proving some people wrong and showing them the Deion Sanders era might actually have some good play in it, as they beat Texas Tech 41-27. They are 7-2 on the year. Number 17, Clemson Tigers. Clemson this week was on the road. They had to go to Blacksburg to take on Virginia Tech, and Clemson's defense really showed up in this game, regardless of the fact that Virginia Tech scored 14 points. 7 of those points came in garbage time anyway. Clemson is 7-2 on the year. Number 16, Army. Army this week was on the road to take on the North Texas Mean Green, and they walked out with a 14-3 victory. Army definitely doesn't look like the same Army team with their starting quarterback out, but if they could get him back, they'll be back to blowing people out. They still are getting wins thanks to that stellar defense, as Army is 9-0 on the year. Number 15, Texas A&M Aggies. Texas A&M, the third of those 4 teams this week that have a bye, a nice week to rest and recuperate after really getting upset by South Carolina on the road a week ago. Texas A&M really can control its own destiny even with 2 losses in the SEC, and honestly, Texas A&M is 7-2 on the year. Number 14, SMU Mustangs. The last team on this list to have a bye, another team to rest and recuperate. SMU has really run folks out of the building with their high-powered offense. They dropped 48 on Pittsburgh before their bye, and if they can continue to play at this pace, they're going to be a team to watch. They're 8-1 on the year. Number 13, Boise State Broncos. Boise State was at home this week. They hosted the Nevada Wolfpack, and they walked out with a 28-21 win. Ashton Gentry having himself another game, solidifying himself as one of the best running backs in the nation. And Boise State is looking like they could get into the college football playoff. They're 8-1. Number 12, Miami Hurricanes. Miami went on the road this week, and they went to Atlanta to take on the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, and they got everything they can handle and some, as they did take their first loss of the season, losing to Georgia Tech 28-23, but Cam Ward can still turn this offense around. I feel bad for Miami's next opponent, but Miami is number 12 in the nation, and they're 9-1. Number 11, Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia was on the road this week. They were at number 16, Mississippi, and man, Mississippi's defense held Georgia in check for this game. Carson Beck, another interception thrown on the day. Georgia just did not show up to this game. They lost 28-10, and Georgia doesn't get any easier. They got to go home to play Tennessee next, so we'll see what happens, but currently Georgia is 7-2 on the year. Number 10, Mississippi Rebels. Ole Miss making the biggest jump out of anybody in this poll this week. They jump up 6 spots. They were at home against number 3 Georgia and came out with a 28-10 victory. The sky is looking great for Mississippi, if we're going to be honest. And they played very well, especially defensively against Georgia. They are 8-2 on the year. Number 9, Alabama Crimson Tide. Alabama went on the road this week to Baton Rouge and put the beat down on LSU, walking out with a 42-13 victory. Alabama looking like they are the Alabama of Nick Saban now, getting another big win, and honestly, they could make some noise in the college football playoffs. They are 7-2 on the year. Number 8, Notre Dame. Notre Dame was at home this week and they hosted the Florida State Seminoles, and this was a one-sided beatdown to say the least. Notre Dame's defense showed up and shut down Florida State. Their offense showed up and put up a 50 burger, and if they can continue to play like this, they could make some noise in the college football playoffs as well. Notre Dame is 8-1 on the year. Number 7, BYU Cougars. BYU was on the road this week. They were at the Utah Utes, and boy did they struggle. They looked very vulnerable in this game. They were down by 8 in the fourth, but were rallying a come-from-behind 22-21 win to remain undefeated. BYU 9-0 on the year. Number 6, Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee was at home this week. They hosted Mississippi State. They were up 20-7 at half. Nico Iamaleava didn't play in the second half. Dante Thornton Jr. didn't play in the second half because of injuries. But Tennessee still was able to manage a 33-14 win on the legs of Dylan Sampson, as Tennessee is 8-1 on the year. Number 5, Indiana Hoosiers. Indiana was at home this week. They took on the defending national champions, Michigan Wolverines, and stepped up clutch in the fourth quarter to survive 20-15. Indiana really looking like a Cinderella team this year. The Hoosiers have been perfect through 10 games, and they are 10-0 on the season. Number 4, Penn State and Indy Lions. Penn State was at home this week. They played the Washington Huskies, and they really dominated for most of this game, as Penn State, another big win, 35-6, and they are 8-1 on the year. Number 3, the Texas Longhorns. Texas was at home this week. They hosted the Florida Gators, and man, did they look great in the first half. Texas was up 35-0 on the Florida Gators at the half. Stellar offense, stellar defense, and they really held Florida in check in the second half. They didn't really extend the lead anymore, but the Florida wasn't able to cut into it either, as Texas won 49-17 this week over the Gators, and the Longhorns are 8-1 on the year. Number 2, Ohio State Buckeyes. Ohio State was at home this week as they were taking on the Purdue Boilermakers, and no problems for Ohio State this week. Business as usual. The running game spot on, the defense spot on. 45-0 they beat down Purdue, and they are 8-1 on the season. And number 1, the Oregon Ducks. Oregon was at home this week. They were hosting the Maryland Terrapin, and they handled business superbly. They were up 29-10 in the third quarter of this game. Went on to win it by a final score of 39-18, as Oregon Ducks are 10-0 on the season. And that was the 2024 College Football Top 25 Week 12 show, where I, Nicky D, broke down the top 25 based on the AP poll that dropped this week. Who do you think should be in the top 25 that's not there? Let me know down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, share the video on social media, and you made it all the way to the end of this video, go smash that subscribe button so you can be notified of when I drop my next video. And if you want to see some more of me, Nicky D, then go check out another one of my videos, because I got hours of content that'll keep you entertained well into the evening. With that being said, I hope everybody continues to have a wonderful evening. I'm Nicky D. This is the Nicky D channel, and I will see all of y'all beautiful people next time. Bye, y'all.